be joined today by Peter Krelle, Managing Director of Spicerhaart Land and New Homes. Peter, welcome. And first of all, just tell us a bit about Spicerhaart, and I believe you're going to be exhibiting at the WhatHouse show in Brighton on September the 27th and September the 28th.
That's right. Morning, Rupert. Yes, Spicerhaart, we're the largest principal-owned provider of property services in the UK. We cover a geographical area sort of as north as Barnsley down to Torquay in the west, all the way through sort of London, Surrey, Sussex, Berks and Kent. We're really looking forward to the show as an opportunity to showcase new homes really as the ideal investment. We will be bringing a variety of stock, all with a decent yield, and promoting that and our services to hopefully develop clients that may be there as well.
That's excellent. And Peter, obviously, there's a lot of news about the need for many more new homes and the supply issue. But a brand new home, why do you see a brand new home in particular as the ideal investment property in the current market?
Well, if you think about it, you've got something that's going to be certainly maintenance free for a good 10 years or so. It's a blank canvas. You move people in. If you're buying second hand, there's all of the refurbishment issues, and of course at the moment, you try and get a painter and decorator, let alone a builder. It's an absolute nightmare. So a new build is absolutely perfect for any investor, and obviously when you're adding to the blank canvas that developers providing you, you'll enhance the value, and of course in 5 years time it's still going to look pretty good, and it's also going to be cheap to refurbish if there is any need to do that. So it's an ideal property really for people to let out. We're going to be bringing a real sort of nice varied stock, all that has predominantly strong communication links, and I think any investor turning up will be pleased to see the actual variety of stock that we've got.
And also, what's important as well, isn't it? Obviously, there are schemes such as Help to Buy, which has proved very, very successful, particularly for house builders. So presumably at the WhatHouse show in Brighton, your people will be there to give information on how things like Help to Buy works and how they can make the best of the sort of schemes out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Help to Buy has been great for us, but I suppose that's more end user, and I suppose we're seeing probably the exhibition as a showcase for the investor who's less dependent on sales incentives such as that. But yes, certainly I'll be there with, in fact, the two ladies that run my investment side, Invest in You, which cover the footprint of my operation. Plus also we've got a lettings colleague who'll give guidance on likely returns, any management issues and the charges that are involved with that. So we've got a team of four on a nice on H2, I think we are, the largest stand as you come in from the entrance. So yeah, very much looking forward to seeing as many people as possible.
And the old adage does very much apply, doesn't it, in terms of property as the best long-term investment. Obviously we lots of issues with pensions, etc. And in terms of the best possible pension, whatever the fluctuations of the property market over a period of time, property does remain the safest bet, doesn't it?
Well, if you look at everything else, the only thing that you have to have is somewhere to live. Everything else, the new car, whatever, any kind of forms of gadgets, it's well, do I or don't I? But everybody needs somewhere to live. So, if you're buying for yourself. If you're renting, somebody else is going to be buying that, but everyone needs a home. And of course, as a result of that and supply and demand, it is the greatest market, out there for anybody that wants to invest. And when you think about it as well, the consistency of performance of the UK housing market, it just outstrips anything else in Europe, the US, or anywhere else. It's safe. We're politically stable. We're a fairly boring bunch in many ways, but that means that you've just got total security in property. You don't have to worry about political ramifications for you if you're investing heavily in bricks and mortar.
And Peter, for people coming to the Brighton show who may be looking at becoming investors, so they're almost like first-time investors, you'll obviously be there to provide them with a lot of advice and information, because traditionally we seem to hear about a lot of investment from overseas, but obviously for a UK investor who knows his market, particularly his local market, takes the right advice, you can become an investor. It's not something to be scared of or shy of, as long as you take the right advice.
Totally. I mean, it is safe. The worst thing that could happen is a slightly suspect tenant, and that's a coat of paint and a bit of carpet cleaning. But at the end of the day, if you've got a clear indication of the likely yield, basically that's the income you expect on a monthly basis versus your outlay. You can do your sums. You know what your mortgage is going to be costing you. Especially if you've got a reasonable deposit to put down. So you can offset one and the other. Capital growth, so it'll be washing its face at worst, probably bringing you in a nice tidy sum on a monthly basis with a decent deposit. It's more likely. But the capital growth over a 10-year period, you're not going to see that anywhere else. It's certainly not in stocks and shares, and certainly not by sticking it in the bank at the moment. It really is, for me, the only place you should be investing in the UK.
Well, that's great. Well, Peter, thank you very much for that. That's fascinating insights to investment. And Peter Krelle and Spicerhaart Land and New Homes will be at the WhatHouse show at the Hilton Brighton Metropole. It's the weekend of September the 27th to September the 28th. There's a full gamut of property options there, but investment absolutely key and fantastic opportunities. So, Peter, thank you very much for joining us, and looking forward to seeing you later this month.
Fantastic. Look forward to it, Rupert. Thank you.
Bye-bye.